I don't want to get my hopes up. I really don't. It's still a rumor at this point, but it's just kind of weird that this was kind of blurted out by this person who works in the industry and seems to have some ties with this band. Now, back in 2017, Linkin Park frontman Chester Bennington took his own life, and it's been, I can't believe it's been 7 years. And since then, Linkin Park have kind of been around. They did the tribute show for him shortly after, and they've released anniversaries for their records like Hybrid Theory Meteora, and have recently announced a greatest hits record, and they've released new, I say new because it was unreleased songs that were recorded but never brought to the light of day until now, so they're new to us. And now there's rumors, after so many years, that Linkin Park might be reuniting, and with a new singer. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this news, I thought it was an April Fool's joke, but a lot of the stuff that we're seeing was posted on April 2nd. So why would these big name news networks make an April Fool's joke the day after April Fool's Day? It doesn't make sense, because, you know, me being a sports fan, on April Fool's Day, a lot of the posts you see on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram is a lot of, oh, this guy got traded here, this guy signed a free agent deal here, when none of that is really true, unless, on the rare occasion, sometimes it is, you will have moves like that made on April Fool's Day. But this was the day after April Fool's, which is leading many people to believe that there could be some kind of truth to this. Now, who was the person that blurted this out? Well, recently, Jay Gordon from the rock band Orgy did an interview where he talked about Linkin Park, basically saying, yeah, they're nice guys, you know, I really appreciate them, really respect them, and it's gonna be hard to move on without Chester Bennington, but I hear that they are about to move on with a new singer, and that singer might even be a female. Smell like Betsy here! And let's be honest, I don't know why I did the Donald Trump fingers there, please forgive me. This definitely does sound like some sort of joke that would be played on April Fool's Day, and I don't necessarily know when this interview took place. It very well could have been that, and that these newsletters and stuff are posting them the day after, thinking that this is a true statement. But all in all, too, we hear stuff like this all the time, and it turns out to be true. Remember when the Jonas Brothers kind of hinted about MCR coming back, saying, you know, we've seen them before shows where they're like practicing together, and why would they practice together if they didn't plan on coming back? And that later turned out to be true. They announced their comeback shows, they released a new song, and that's basically where we've been at with MCR. Whether they release a new album or not, I don't know, but MCR has been back together. And I remember when the Jonas Brothers made that comment, everybody said, you know, whatever, they're just looking at it the wrong way, it's really nothing, when it turned out to be something. So why would Jay Gordon say something like this? If it is a joke, then, you know, maybe he was just kind of like, I guess, playing up the anticipation that it could be something. So I also found something very interesting when looking at this interview. Jay Gordon actually posted a statement kind of saying he wasn't necessarily misquoted in a way, but that he knows whatever, but it was kind of taken the wrong way, and that he wasn't the one that brought it up, when he absolutely was the one that brought it up. Nobody brought up Linkin Park in the interview but him. And I think the most fishiest thing about this statement is that Jay Gordon never, like, took back what he said. He said, no, what I said is not true, so don't believe it. He just kind of said, I was misquoted with what was said, but that doesn't mean I didn't say it, which is kind of still very confusing, but also still leading many people to believe that maybe he was telling the truth one way or another. And another reason too, I think this could potentially be true, Linkin Park hasn't released any sort of statement. Like, I feel like if it was a joke and people were like, you know, just spamming them with like, hey, is this true, is this true, is this true, they would have released a statement by now, kind of like maybe explaining things, or maybe being like, no, that's not true, everything was a joke, don't take what you see to heart and all this kind of stuff. They've been very quiet about it. So with that being said, maybe there's something here to this. But I don't know, this just seems very fishy that Linkin Park just released another new song, Friendly Fire, off the One More Light sessions, and they have a greatest hits album coming out. So what would be a better way to kind of come back than to release that greatest hits record and say, those were the hits that we had with Chester, and now it's time to move on to a new era with the new singer, whoever that would be, whether, you know, guy, woman, you know, I don't know what their plan is or if this rumor is even true, but it just kind of is fishy. And other than, you know, announcing about the greatest hits album, the band's been kind of quiet in itself, you know. I mean, obviously with what happened and what they've been doing with releasing stuff, they've been quiet for the most part in general until they're ready to tease something new. But I don't know, this is just news that kind of came out of nowhere, and, you know, you can believe it whether you want to, but this could very well be something. I mean, Linkin Park never ruled out not coming back with a new singer. They went on hiatus after the whole Chester Bennington thing, and, you know, obviously so. I mean, we all understood, and we were okay if they were never going to come back. But it's been almost a decade now, and you gotta think, maybe they might be ready to continue down the path and start a new era, because they wouldn't be the first band to do that, where, you know, a key band member had passed away, and later down the line after some time off, they decide to come back with a new singer, or new whatever, and, you know, kind of reinvent themselves and reinvent the wheel a little bit, which is something I can definitely see them doing with a new singer. So, yeah, like I said, take this news as you will. This could have very well been an April Fool's joke played by Jay Gordon, but at the same point in time, it's gained so much traction, and I feel like at this point in time, Jay Gordon probably could have said like, whoa, wait a minute, it was a joke. We've seen it before, and at this point in time, I don't know, I still don't want to get my hopes up about it, because I wouldn't be too sure how Linkin Park would sound without Chester Bennington at the helm. I don't know. I was always at the idea that they were just gonna, you know, stay the way it was, where they might release some unreleased stuff throughout album sessions over the years without officially reuniting. But all in all, too, if they do come back with a new singer, I'm willing to give it a shot and see what they got and whatnot. Wow. Dr. Seuss up in this bitch. I don't feel that they can get that same spark with Chester and Mike that they had back then. I just don't think they can, and bringing in somebody new, I feel like the chemistry would have to be there, or else it just doesn't feel like it would work. So, in the end, we'll see, and I will just kind of take this for granted right now, but at the same point in time, there might be some truth here. And we just got it leaked that Linkin Park plans this big reunion with a new singer. But you can tell me in the comments below, what do you think? And until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.